video that I talked about earlier on my walkabouts. Um, yeah, let's just have a listen in here to what Tracey says about McEntee.
Hi everyone. Today I intend to review the contents of a video published by the Minister for Justice Helen McEntee on the 2nd of May 2024, where she says we need to have a frank discussion about migration. Before I get into the content of the video, I want to make a brief remark on McEntee's dress and demeanour, both of which were well thought out. In my opinion, the pink casual dress style was not an accident. Firstly, the colour pink is said to impart calm, kindness and empathy, and McEntee's casual style of dress, according to research, is intended to present her as being open to people, friendly, honest and reliable. While her demeanour throughout the video, where she consistently leans forward, is intended to present her as being invested in the conversation. The reason I am pointing out these issues is because McEntee's dress and demeanour is a form of manipulation called behavioural science, the intended aim of which is to garner your support for the information she intends to deliver throughout the video. So before she even opens her mouth, in my opinion, she is trying to manipulate you. Now we will review the contents of the video, which in most cases is either misleading, incomplete or incorrect.
We need to have a frank conversation.
I'd just like to add, see when she said there, or see how many times she said, in my opinion. Once again, yeah, you could say, yeah, that's grand, that's all well and well, but to me, that's like, I don't know, it's still saying, that, well, actually, that's another conflicting thing, isn't it? Because I was going to say, it's kind of still admitting that it's not what's widely believed, but it's what I believe, in the sense of this isn't what that would sort of convey to you is that this isn't widely known, but it is. I always tell you it's about body language and what they're wearing. It's widely known. There's books written about it. It's all part of the psychological warfare or cognitive warfare, should I say? It used to be called psychological warfare. Now it's called cognitive warfare.
About migration. It's time to dispel some of the misinformation about the EU Migration and Asylum Pact. The Pact is an EU-wide response to migration.
When she says that the pact is an EU-wide response to migration, this is misleading, as Denmark, who have been part of the EU since 1973, will not be opting into the pact, but instead will continue to control their own borders with the primary aim of protecting the interests of the Danes.
It's strange when you think about it. Like, how come Denmark can and we can't? Things like that.
Update and improve our current immigration laws, and it will ensure that we are not dealing with this on our own. We've helped to shape the pact, and so there is nothing in it that doesn't benefit Ireland.
Isn't it ridiculous? And people actually believed her when she got up there and did that TikTok video. Isn't it mad? Isn't it mad what some people would just rather, small lies rather than the inconvenient truth, huh?
When she says that the pact will improve our current immigration laws and that there is nothing in the pact that does not benefit Ireland, this is incorrect, because if we sign up to the pact, we will have to accept an undefined number of asylum seekers annually or pay a financial penalty of at least €20,000 per person.
They want us, so it's the threat again, The government's using the threat from the EU that, oh God, if we don't take these in, we're going to be fined 30,000 per refugee that we send back. It's all about threatening. Now, you could look at it the way I look at this and go, well, that's just the EU and the Irish government pretending. Like, they're pretending, It's Punch and Judy. And even though Denmark has come out and said that, look, we're not signing into that. It's all right for them, but now if you're Irish now, you have no choice because your government is telling you that it's all, it's the golden road to go down type of thing,
It will also become more difficult to return asylum seekers to other countries, as the rules around returns will become more restrictive. And we will also lose the ability to designate countries as being safe countries, because the EU will have the authority to overrule any decision we make in this regard.
Applications for international protection will be dealt with quicker, so this means that people will get their decisions quicker and they'll spend less time in state accommodation.
When she says that applications will be dealt with quicker and people will spend less time in state accommodation, even if this is true, which is questionable, this is likely an incomplete statement. The reason I say this is because in 2023, the median processing time for first instance decisions was 12 months, with a budget of 34 million allocated to the International Protection Office and Appeals Tribunal in 2024. Under the new pact, the majority of applications must be dealt with inside 3 months. So here she is suggesting that once the EU create a law that demands that processing times are reduced to 3 months, both herself and Roderick O'Gorman, the Minister for Integration, will simply reduce processing times to a fraction of the current period. Surely if we could complete applications inside 3 months, we would do it now without having to be told to do it by the EU. That said, it is possible that we may be able to abide by this 3-month requirement if we throw a considerable amount of money at the problem, your money, such that the budget for the IPO office would have to increase 4-fold from 34.
Your money, so working Irish people's money, will now be spent on trying to make this sort of integration pact, whatever it is that they want to do, will go towards pushing that as well. So that's the Ukrainian cats and dogs you're paying for. That's the repairs of full engines on Ukrainian cars. And that's also millions and millions. What'd she say, 34 million? I wonder what it's at now. I wonder how much they've pumped into it by now to fast track people becoming Irish citizens.
4 million to 136 million, if not higher.
Where the decision is negative, it will also be easier to return people to their country of origin. I have already introduced a new system to ensure that applications from certain countries are dealt with quicker, and what's happened is the number of people coming from those countries has dropped by 50%.
When she says that when an applicant receives a negative decision, it will be easier to return that applicant to its country of origin, what she is not telling you is the lack of will by her department to effect and follow up on deportation orders now. So between 2018 and 2022, 4 out of 5 asylum seekers who had deportation orders issued against them had not been deported and remained unaccounted for. Considering the fact we do not enforce current deportation orders, I find it hard to believe we would enforce more stringent deportation laws into the future.
The pact will allow us to access EU funding to help us to continue to improve our systems.
To improve our systems, when in reality, it's just to keep it going. She gets paid more money to keep the gravy train going. Irish people getting murdered and stabbed and raped, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as she can keep the gravy train going. I'm going to see, this video goes on for like 25 minutes. So, and I know a lot of people don't like just sitting there listening to, is it prefer to hear my opinion over, well, that's what I think. Is it prefer to hear my opinion over the likes of Tracey? Some people would. Because like I said, some people question Tracey and her motives. But, I mean, she's pointing out things I point out. How they use colour and, how they spin words. They spin the words something crazy, which only makes this continue and drag on and drag on and drag on. And then what happens then when it comes to the end of McEntee's? I shall put her in a different section of the government and get someone else in there. Like how they put Jim O'Callaghan. That guy's another joke of a man. He is not Irish. That Jim O'Callaghan, he is not Irish. He does not love Ireland. He's doing everything as well to undermine. Like, his answer to everything is, hire more guards. What, you're hiring more guards, but you're going into mosques to hire these guards. Do you know what I mean? So he's another deceiver, that Jim O'Callaghan fella. I'll put a link to the full video down below. But I wanted you just to see that because she just did here in this video what I'm always doing, telling you about what clothes they wear and all. You know how Zelensky looks like he's ready to go to war all the time when all he's doing is sitting in his office snorting coke. Yeah,